What are you bringing to Dances with Films for my fans?
Actually, we have two projects that we're bringing. One is The Small, we're in Dances with Pilots, and the second is Someone You Know, which is in the Shorts program on Tuesday night at 5.
Awesome.
So today's all about The Small, which is Stephanie's pilot, which is the take on if you could have 5 more minutes with a loved one who's passed on. Our lead character can provide that for you.
Oh, okay. So it's drama or horror?
Comedy, kind of based in sort of like Woody Allen's Purple Rose of Cairo, Played Against Sam type. So very dry, grounded-based comedy with a romantic element to it. So
And very poignant. Very poignant.
I see. So, as an independent filmmakers, independent artists, what are some of the challenges of making this or getting this together?
oh gosh.
Where to start?
Right. How long do we have here? No, I mean, I think it starts really with assembling your team. And there's got to be a tremendous amount of trust. And I think that takes years to find, honestly. And then when you find a good team, you want to just stay together. So that was, some lessons that have paid off greatly. So working with Sally on both of our projects has been great. So,
Right.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, we worked together on, just chronologically, my film was first, and then we worked so well together that I wound up producing on hers, and I'm an actress in her pilot as well. And I think when you find people that you click with, you want to keep working with them and add to your team. For Stephanie, I think one of the challenges was she shot hers in New York City, and that's quite an undertaking because it's just such a, busy and crazy place to work, and you try to shut down places or try to get space to actually make your project.
Yeah, and then we shot some of the scenes. It was split between Central Park and then in my apartment, in my studio apartment. So I think I was not aware of how difficult it is actually shooting in a smaller space. I thought definitely, I'm like, oh, of course, we're only can be here and here, but really just framing that off, that was more of a challenge than I realized.
A small space for the small. And the reason it's a small is because the woman who can provide this doesn't consider herself a psychic medium. She's a small.
So she can only provide 5 minutes. So there's a lot of really fun play in all of it. So anyway.
Last question. I love New York City. I would not be able to afford to live there. But let's talk a bit about the fascination or the romanticism of shooting in New York City.
Oh, there's nothing like it.
And Central Park. I mean, she did so much of her film in Central Park, and I mean, it's just iconic and
yeah, and breathtaking. And it's almost like another character. I know that sounds so cliche, but we were really lucky because we worked with the Central Park Conservancy, who gave us permission. Wow. And I like when we were shooting Sally's scene, they are constantly stopping by just to inspect the area, and you can't lean anything up against a tree or a fence. Everything has to be freestanding. And
by the end of the shoot, we were friends with every single rat that was around us. So
yeah. There was that big rat. We're like, Benji.
Well, thank you so much, you guys. Congratulations. Congratulations, Heather.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, and I spoke with the director, I believe.
Yes, with Stephanie.
And so what's your role in The Small?
So I play Sarah Beth. She is the lead of The Small. She's The Small. And yeah.
No spoilers, I guess.
No spoilers. I can't give any spoilers away. I do happen to know what happens so far. With whatever we've done so far.
Awesome. I love that. You put it so nicely. So what's the significance of bringing this, The Small, to Dances with Films?
I think for all of us, it's because of the subject matter of the story. It touches on subjects of loss and love, but then continues on in a very positive way that explores relationships both in the present moment and then ones that we lose and then ones that we haven't even known that we've gained yet.
Oh, so it deals with grief and loss and.
It does. It's not in a sad, traditionally sad way. But I think Sarah Beth goes on a journey of finding who she is, and then also like who. Through her work, she meets people that end up bringing her basically out of the tiny world that she lives in on the other side.
Having gone through the experience of making this series, what did you learn as an artist?
Gosh, just how much work the writer, director, and producer put into this too, and long hours. You know, we were very prepared. I do a lot of theater in New York, and we were very prepared with lines and with our character and our scenes. You know, we know what was going on, and as a creative and as an actor, I can create a, you know, I worked on creating Sarah Beth before we got onto the set. But then how do you work on the fly? How do you work in a very small, we worked in a very, very small space with a lot of people who were so generous with their time. And how do you change on the fly with new script ideas? Oh, that light doesn't work, so now we're going to shoot over here. And shooting out of order too. So somebody who, like myself, who works a lot in theater, going then to the opposite of shooting something out of sequence, not in line like a regular play. So
I love that.
learned so much, so much.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the evening. Congratulations.